Hi, I'm Joan Cartan-Hansen. Thank you for joining us for this Dialogue Web Extra. We're talking with the Director of Idaho's Parks and Recreation Department, Nancy Merrill. Let me ask you about the new regulations for off-highway vehicle users. This is actually for users on Forest Service land, but the state legislature put it in your department. Tell us about it.
Thank you. We manage all the recreational opportunities in the state of Idaho, so that's why we received this mandate on this. This is a little confusing, but it's only on the forest roads, and it's only for unlicensed drivers on those roads. And what we provide is the training that's needed for those folks to be able to drive on those roads.
So if I have a 14-year-old who wants to drive an ATV or a motorcycle and on a Forest Service road, not on the trails, but on the roads, they have to go through an education program? An
education program that is both on the bike and written.
Okay.
So that's it's a double fold. And we have those sites on our website as where we can do those. There's not a fee involved with that. And when they'll receive a certificate, so if they get stopped, and they can say, I'm trained, hopefully they'll learn some things out there that will keep them safe. This is to keep them from interacting.
What was the impetus for this?
There has been in Idaho, on some of these roads, these forest roads, there are large logging trucks and small children that are on the same roads together, and without much training, in fact, without any training. And so safety has not been a concern. And today we are very concerned about those interactions between the two.
Is there a minimum age that kids are allowed to get on to drive?
There is not today.
Okay.
And that was a problem that, there's been children as young as 4 years old on the little tiny ATVs on the same roads, following along with mom and dad as the logging trucks are coming around the corners on these forest roads.
So even that little kid has to get certified, or the parents can get a ticket?
If they're not licensed, yes.
Okay.
If they're underage.
Is it all done online?
No. There are training sites around the state because you do have to do it, have to be on your vehicle with your helmet on and going through the course to make sure that you can handle that vehicle in a manner that's responsible.
Does this apply to someone who's going to take it on on a trail bike, for example?
No, it doesn't. It's just on Forest Service roads.
So only if your child is going to be going on the roads do you need to get
even adults, if you have adults that don't have a driver's license,
okay,
that have come in and want to, for some reason they don't have a driver's license, then they also need to, if they haven't. It's a good training grounds for people. They just don't turn as quick as what you think they do. Yeah. And sometimes they spill over. And so there's some tricks to learn how to ride those ATVs and motorbikes to be safe.
And how often are the training seminars?
They're on a regular basis all through the summer. We've just begun them. And so they take about an hour and a half. And they sign up. We can handle about 10, 11 in a course. And we
are different sites across the state?
Different sites across the state. And you can get them on the website.
Okay.
And sign up for them.
Okay, well, you can find that website, the link to the Idaho Department of Parks and Recreation
website
on our website at idahoptv.org, clicking on Dialogue in today's show, and you'll find that.
Correct.
But before I let you go,
Sure.
I ran across an interesting quote that came from the National Trust for Historic Places. They called after several states, not just Idaho's been having budget crisis, but several states across the nation are having problems with their parks. They said that state parks are among the nation's most endangered places. If you look at all the beautiful parks we've got in Idaho, so far none of them are subject for closure, but Idaho is not alone in having a budget crisis. What are your fellow directors across the nation saying when it comes to the survival of state parks?
I think in general we are all very concerned. We are very concerned that we're losing these beautiful natural resources that were set aside back in the 30s and 40s as we built national parks and state parks and that. And I think we're all very, very concerned that if they close down, they will deteriorate. It will cost more to bring them back up than it will to maintain them. We'll lose these spots and we'll never get them back. And that will be a great loss for Americans as well as Idahoans.
And California seems to be in the worst shape, although Ohio has had problems with their parks too. But Ohio is looking at allowing drilling in some state parks. Are those options are we looking at different uses of state parks than we have previously?
We haven't to date, of course, but we are with Eagle Island.
With the gravel
is a resource on that. You know, I imagine that will be looked at as time marches on.
So where do you draw the line if you between preserving and maintaining recreation and yet allowing development in an area that previously wasn't supposed to? When is it no longer a state park?
Well, I think it's no longer a state park when you lose those resources, when you actually cannot no longer go there and to enjoy the outdoors and the peace and the quiet that you so long to do so.
All right. Well, Dr. Merrill, I appreciate you joining us for this brief Dialogue Web Extra. If you want to learn more about Idaho State Parks, check out the Dialogue website. You can go to idahoptv.org, click on our link to the state parks, and we appreciate you being with us for this Dialogue Web Extra.
Thank you very much.